Welcome to Preet's Smart Money Talk. I hope you can hear my voice properly. Today, basically, we are going to talk about economic update, which has been provided by Todd Hirsch. He is the chief economist for ATB Financial. He was basically in a webinar presentation with us yesterday, and these are my findings from him. This is basically his forecasting, and I will probably share three different things that I learned yesterday from him. Those three things mainly are the GDP, Canada's GDP contraction, and the unemployment rate. And the last thing, we will talk about the interest rates, how he basically thinks the interest rates would be going further in Canada. So starting with GDP, as you already know, all of us are facing different economic times due to COVID. And right now, what's happening is the gross domestic product, GDP, is right now running at numbers that are unprecedented. Nobody has seen those numbers before. The contraction happened, basically the shrinking of the economy happened from 6 to 7%. Some people think that it happened between up to 8% also. Todd Hirsch, who's the ATB economist, he basically did say that you should not put too much stress upon the numbers only, and you should basically look at how the Canada's economy would be evolving in future, how it will be changing in future, right? How we can adapt to this economy in future. That was the main stress from this whole presentation, right? So when we basically started the COVID period, it was basically 6 to 7%. Now people are saying that it's close to 8%. The forecasting, the banks, private forecasters, pretty much all of them, they're clustered in the same window. Nobody is different. It's pretty much the same window, right? What exactly they are saying, economists are saying, is this is basically the single biggest year of contraction since the Great Depression, which is 1930s. And personally, I don't know anybody who have seen those numbers before. So we are just basically going along the way right now, right? So moving further, what he thinks will happen in 2021 will be, again, a different story, right? 2021 would not be the same like 2020, and obviously it will be a different one. The numbers wide would be basically different, right? What the economists are projecting, the GDP will be close to 4%, 3%, and this is a very phenomenal number. 4% growth rate is a very phenomenal number for all across the Canada. But we have to keep in mind what was the number in 2020 today, right? We have basically a very big hole that we have to fill in and climb out of this hole in 2021. So for that reason, even though the Canada's economy grows by 4% in 2021, still this number would not be 4%, would not be basically a good number for us, right? Todd's prediction, who Todd is basically, again, some people are joining me live right now. Todd Hirsch is the economist from ATB Financial. He is the most influential person in the financial sector within Alberta. And he's a writer. He is listened worldwide, right? So Todd basically said it will take well into 2021, 2022 to recover from the loss that we had on the GDP this year, right? Moving further, he talked about unemployment rate. Unemployment rate, when 2019 started, the unemployment rate was sitting at 5.5%. A modest number, not too much. But in 2020, post-COVID, it was still manageable. But right now, average across Canada, it's sitting close to 9.4%. And this is a higher number. It's projected that it will be close to 7.8% in the coming 1 year window, which is again 2021. It will gradually go down in 2022. The biggest thing that he talked about, which I was very much interested, was Alberta, my home province, right? So what's happening in Alberta, right? So I will definitely come to that. He gave us his numbers of what he thinks, how people will be affected across country. The least affected people that he thinks would be in Manitoba. Then, because they have obviously less population and less cases of COVID-19 right now, the other provinces that will follow are Maritimes, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, PEI, right? Those numbers would be definitely, those people would be the least affected. BC and Ontario will be somewhere in the middle. They will struggle, but they will be definitely somewhere in the middle of the pack. Quebec will be struggling. They have more population that is affected by COVID right now. And the last one that is most affecting personally me is Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Newfoundland and Labrador. As you already know, these three provinces are basically the most biggest provinces in oil generation, oil revenue. So pre-COVID, these provinces were already on a sliding scale, sliding slope. Due to oil recession, the oil prices were already going down, right? And now, basically, after COVID, this has already affected, it has hampered the growth of the oil business. So these provinces, including Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Newfoundland and Labrador, would be recovering at a slower pace than the other country, right? Oh, somebody is calling me right now. Okay. So these provinces will be struggling more in 2021, 2022, and it will take more time to recover, especially because we are dependent upon the oil. The last thing that is the most important thing for my customers is the interest rates. Todd was asked how long the government of Canada will allow the monetary stimulus and the low interest rates. The biggest thing that he was really much certain about was that the low interest rates will continue in 2021, 2022, and his thinking was it may be beyond 2022. That he was very much certain about, that it will definitely continue. The low interest rates, especially the variable rates, and the fixed rates will stay low, right? But he was not certain if the government of Canada would be able to provide the stimulus package, the CERB benefits, and all those other benefits people are enjoying right now. Would they be able to continue? Government of Canada would be able to continue it in future? That's the question, and it's a fully loaded political question. I would not get into that, obviously, right? So even though Justin Trudeau still has said that he will try to continue to help out people, but we don't know. That's a question, and this question comes to, would it be a balanced budget? Where will the money come from, right? So that's the question we will have to see in future, right? So far, these are the updates that I have personally from my end, courtesy of ATB Financial, Todd Hirsch, who is the chief economist. If I hear more, I do have some other findings from him, which I will share in the next week's video, and then we will continue further. Meanwhile, if you have any questions regarding mortgages, if your renewal is coming up, if you're looking for a brand new purchase, investment property, construction, build homes, call me. The only name that you should remember is Preet Singh, Preet's Smart Money Talk. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.